Oh boy, that was quite a few hours of our lives.
It's really about the last 5 minutes, what I've seen in the last 5 minutes.
The last 5 minutes were more entertaining than the entire All-Star weekend.
I would say that there's been more physical exertion and risk of injury in the last 5 minutes than there were in the entire NHL All-Star.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree with that. Well, to those who tuned into the show, we appreciate you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes podcast, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Craig Morgan. It feels so weird that we're doing a post-game show of sorts, just us two, and Petey's going to be the one calling in from Mullett Arena shortly.
Is he actually calling in? Do we know this for a fact?
Okay. Well, he said he would, so don't get your hopes up, but of course, Petey is at Mullett Arena right now getting ready for the high school hockey state championship, which Craig and I are also going. So we gotta get her going to get there in time.
Yeah.
But if you're free tonight, come on down. There's still tickets available, $15 tickets to experience the Mullett, watch some high school hockey for a state championship. So.
I'm just here to promote my St. Patty's Day party, actually. So. I'm about to leave.
I wore green.
I'm about to leave now.
Good thing I wore green. All right. Well, we're here to talk about that. The NHL All-Star game, of course. We got to give an acknowledgement to Arizona Coyote Clayton Keller, who I thought, at least in game one, represented the Coyotes well. 2 goals and an assist, and then
scored in this game.
The final game too. So he made his mark, maybe more so than others. So I guess just what are your initial thoughts on today? We'll get to Friday in a little. I want to talk about the skills in a little, but your thoughts on today's set of games.
Today was 3 short 3-on-3 games. Those are my thoughts. That was dull hockey. I thought the second game
was the best.
Yeah, the Atlantic Metro game, the Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin combo. Yeah. That was fun to watch. The 2 games involving the Central Division were not entertainment, in my opinion, which was an accurate way to follow what happened on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a tweet that said something like the game between the Metro and the Atlantic was like exactly what you think the world's best beer league game would be. And I thought that was a really good explanation. Like, that game had pace. You could tell, I mean, nobody's really ever trying in the All-Star game, which is one critique of the All-Star game itself. But there's not trying, and then there's like not trying to an even higher degree. And I felt like the first game was not trying at all. The second game, there was at least a little bit of competitive energy, some competitive juices. I don't know if maybe it's because the Tkachuk brothers were on the ice together, Matthew Tkachuk in front of the home crowd, the suite full of Tkachuk's friends and family. I don't know. They were kind of the stars of this one, stars of the show. But other than that, I mean, there were very few. Usually there's one viral moment in an All-Star game or one thing you can kind of hang your hat on.
Yeah.
These 3 games didn't really have that for me.
Sean said it during the game. And I know we're going to talk about the jerseys, and I know I have a middle-aged perspective on those jerseys that apparently is not in line with, other generations. They should have 4 different jerseys. Yes. Every division should have its own jersey. It was hard to figure out who the hell was who, and we saw it with the passing a couple times when players turned the puck over because they thought they were passing to teammates when, in fact, they were passing to the other team. So start there, 4 jerseys. But you know what would really fix the All-Star game, because this format has gotten a little stale, but 3-on-3 hockey is not stale? I don't know. Maybe every team had its own All-Star representation. Every NHL team had its own All-Star team, and we had a tournament. We had a real tournament because, they were kind enough to give us brackets today for the 4-team All-Star competition. In case it was confusing to you which 2 divisions were in the Eastern Conference and which 2 were in the West, we had a bracket to look at. It would be much cooler if we had 32 teams, each division lined up on the way to a final. Just make it like 5-minute games with an overtime.
I love it.
Well, I was going to say, in the NHL video games, they have this game mode called Threes Eliminator, and it is literally just 3 players and a goalie, and you play first to 3. And if you want to get real interesting, like they do in the game, you can have like specialty pucks where like a goal is like -1 for the other team too, and like all this weird shit if you want to get real out there. But I do like the each team having representation thing.
The Colorado Avalanche is lying.
Yeah, they basically had one anyway.
That basically was.
But you probably have more buy-in from fans, right? If every team had multiple players there, I think more fans would watch. More fans might even attend instead of, oh, our one guy is there. Like, what's my investment? I doubt the ratings are very good in many of these NHL cities. Probably
Seattle didn't even
ratings similar to our show right now.
Hey, thank you to all 17 of you. We appreciate you. And I like this comment from Caleb. Toronto fans just shocked to see a bracket where they didn't get Tampa or Boston. That's a good one. But yeah, Seattle didn't even have a representative in this one. Bo Horvat was a New York Islanders representative playing for the Pacific Division. I mean,
it was all messed up. I mean,
it was a lot.
I blame John Scott for all of this. He fucked up the All-Star game permanently.
I will say too, with your idea, Craig, I feel like you get a chance to recognize like the Sabres, for example. Deline was not an All-Star until Tage Thompson got hurt, and then you have guys like Owen Power, who are one of the best rookies in all of hockey. Like maybe not All-Star level on that caliber, but I think deserves some kind of recognition for what he's doing. I feel like you get that in a lot of teams.
Let's play this out then. Like, say we do this, and I kind of like your idea. Rather than just playing a game with a time limit on it, maybe you play to a certain first team to 3. That's an interesting way to do it because you probably don't exhaust the guys that way
plus
either.
That's the NBA kind of does that. They do the elim ending where they just set a number at a certain point, and then it's the first person to reach that number in the All-Star game. So
you might be able to just take 6 Coyote skaters and a goalie. Obviously, Vimmelka would be the goalie. Who are your 6 Coyote skaters? Clayton Keller is there.
Lawson Krause.
Lawson Krause is there.
Chychrun.
Jacob Chychrun, Shane Gostisbehere are there. Would you take? We missed a lot of the season. Jacob Chychrun did too, but he's playing well.
Nick Bjugstad.
I think Nick Schmaltz would be really good in this format.
Well, I was going to say,
speaking for Petey,
I feel like it is worth having each team maybe have like a rookie or something like that too, so you can give those guys.
And Matthias Maccelli. Dylan Gunther.
Oh yeah, too. There you go.
We've come up with more candidates that we can fill. So that tells you, like, good. If the Coyotes can do it during a rebuild, every team can do it, and then you get more buy-in from the fan bases. You get probably more buy-in from the players too when they're playing with their own teammates. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and that's why the NHL will never do it.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like to that point, guys would be way more interested in trying hard if they're representing their city and not a division that no one actually cares about.
Think that these guys have like Central Division flags in their houses?
No? Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, plus, the Central Division, it's all their biggest rivals.
Right.
I think for me, my favorite format was when it was just a random draft when they were drafting each other. I love how Petey's commenting and then is calling in unprompted, but that's okay, Petey.
Just leave him in the green room for a while.
But it's I don't know. They got to fix something because snooze, boring. Like SZ said in the chat, fell asleep during the concert, literally just woke up, didn't miss anything. You are right about that. I do want to go back to the jerseys for a second because I'm glad
Petey's here now, actually.
Yes. Sean and I have been beating the drum of loving these jerseys.
Not only have you been beating the drum, somebody on this staff
where their mouth
bought one during the game.
May or may not have bought in the Eastern Conference. Blank one. It was not a Tage Thompson jersey. I just like the black more than I like the white / teal. And they didn't, despite both teams wearing both jerseys, they did not offer Western Conference black jerseys on the NHL shop. So I had to go with the Eastern Conference.
I have to say, and I still love the jerseys. I stand by my love for the jerseys. But you can't make the back of the black jerseys white and the back of the white jerseys teal. Yeah, because I was so confused and I had no idea what I was looking at from the back. It took me a second, and you can see they were showing replays of turnovers.
Yeah, to Dylan Larkin, right? For the breakaway.
It was actually a perfect pass. Like, there's no way that was a turnover. There was nobody else around him.
On the tape.
He passed it right to him because how are you supposed to tell the difference? There wasn't a big enough difference. But I thought the jerseys were amazing. I thought the whole branding of this All-Star game, actually, I loved it. I loved the logo. I loved the gradient blue lines.
Yes, that was really cool, the blue lines.
I loved the little suns in the circle of the face-off dots. All of that, the jerseys, all of it, amazing.
Let's roll with that because we talked about this while we were watching the game early on. Basketball courts have a lot of fun with design now. They've gone pretty far out there. Like we've seen some really like Oregon.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
but-
can get bad. But
Yeah, we've seen some bad ones, but we've seen some really cool ones too. And there's a lot that you can do on the playing surface. I get that you need the black puck to show up for goaltenders, especially in the attacking zones, but I think you still could do a lot more with the circles. We talked about like shading the neutral zone in the colors of the home team. There's a lot of fun that you could have with the surface of the ice if you just allow a little more creativity.
Yeah. Plus, you see a lot of basketball courts where like it's not like they got a lot of different color paint on the court. It's like one shade of wood stain and then a different shade of wood stain for design. You could easily go like for the Coyotes, for example, have like a desert scene painted onto one side of the ice that's like gray, so it's not, you're still picking the puck up off the ice, but
you could have
there's some complexity.
Shade as well. Should we bring Petey in, by the way? I feel guilty.
No, I mean, he's not. He's there, but he's not there.
He's not there.
So, Petey, if you're listening, we can't actually see you. So, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, as he agreed, branding was great. Everything else, not so much. And then Ethan said, All-Star skills, fastest divisions. 2 divisions go head-to-head on opposite sides of the ice. Each skater in the division does a relay with the stick handed off as a relay baton. I love it, Ethan.
That's fun.
Like, why not?
That's fun.
Let's just try everything. And we'll talk about the skills game in a second. But is there anything else you want to talk about from today?
Today's games.
By the way, the atmosphere, and this is not on the fans in Florida, but there was no atmosphere in this building.
Well, having attended many games in Sunrise, I can say that maybe it is on the fans in Florida.
I was trying to not be that person because
I'll be that guy. I've been there.
People dunk on like fans in Arizona all the time.
Well, to be fair, they probably didn't even know who was playing. Like they didn't know if their team had scored or not. Especially with there being 2 Tkachuks on the court on the ice, they probably didn't even know which Tkachuk was scoring goals.
And that's the other thing. For a while, it looked like Matthew Tkachuk was going to be the All-Star Game MVP, and then actually, I haven't even seen the announcement.
Who was the All-Star Game
I'm guessing
MVP?
it was Dylan Larkin because Dylan Larkin went crazy in the championship.
Well,
game.
someone earlier made a comment about someone paying off the MVP voters to go with the hometown kid, so I don't know if that's a reference to
Somebody
Tkachuk.
tell us. We were too busy because Sean was like falling on his ass in the office.
Can confirm.
Who won? Who won the MVP? We are so well prepared, obviously. Everyone's saying Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk won it.
Okay, that's good. I mean,
Hometown kid.
I like that
he
for
played
him.
well. So, and he was born in Arizona.
Yep,
So-
absolutely. So I just can't wait to see the game in Arizona and what they can come up with. But
Hopefully, it's a little better than this.
hopefully it is.
Hopefully, it's my 32-team tournament. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm throwing it out
Listen,
there for anybody
if they're
who wants
gonna
to
have it
listen.
here, they should consult you.
I feel like they should.
They absolutely should.
Yeah.
They should.
Okay.
Well, I hope that nobody followed Sean's pick of the week, which was Team Metro to win the NHL All-Star game at plus 300.
They won in the excitement department.
That is true. They did win in that. Do you remember what the Atlantic Division's odds were before?
I want to say it was like plus 250. They were all around plus 250, plus 300.
Okay, so you could have. I mean, 1 in 4 chance you could have won yourself some money betting on this. Maybe it would have been more entertaining if we had actually all put money on it. Because you know how like I literally always sit here and say like, oh, if you're not interested in the teams, you might as well bet for some interest. I should have taken my own advice and had money on this. I think I would have been a lot more invested. But I'll take that advice in the future with probably the Super Bowl. At least the Super Bowl is interesting and exciting, but I don't really care about the Eagles or the Chiefs. So I'll sprinkle some money on it. Maybe a money line, maybe some player props. Then you don't even have to care about who wins, just how that player is doing. Or silly things like the color of the Gatorade. That's what's fun about the Super Bowl betting.
Yeah.
I love it. So Super Bowl 57, it's right around the corner. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code PHNX, and new customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility. I can't. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for details. I don't know if anybody listening to this can hear the ringing of Petey trying to call in.
Well, that was a cherry on top for me because I was laughing at Caleb's comment. How it was boring. It's going to be in Toronto next year. What would the skills challenge be? Finding a condo under 1.5 mil American?
Oh, Caleb, thank
Here's
you.
another PD attempt.
Yeah, thank you
Nope.
for keeping the entertainment high. By the way, we're already like in tears laughing, and we were even considering having some beers before the show, but there's only Hop Knot IPAs in the fridge right now, which we all know Craig is staunchly opposed to
I don't
drinking
drink
IPA.
IPAs.
But you love a Hop Knot, Sean, don't you?
That I do.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. So, we're going through a restock of our Four Peaks beer fridge right now. Thank goodness. I need peach and wow. What? Okay. Everyone's laughing.
Oh,
If we don't get peach or
Sorry.
wow back in here soon, I will protest. But speaking of the Super Bowl, it is right around the corner, like I mentioned. So enjoy a nice Four Peaks beverage during the big game. What?
TV's killing me. By the way, I wish somehow I was laughing too hard, so I didn't capture the video. But at some point, we will capture the video of Sean DePaz's.
Listen, I'm an
What do you
athlete.
call that move? Because we
High kick. I don't know.
No,
It's
we
like
need a better name.
a punting, a football minus the football. Listen, I'm an athlete, and when you're an athlete, sometimes you fall flat on your ass. It's what happens. I don't know what to tell you.
That's what happened in the studio.
You miss 100% of the high kicks you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the skills competition.
Do we have to?
Yes, because I actually have more opinions on the skills than anything else.
Okay, why don't you lead off then?
Okay. Historically, the skills competition has been my favorite part of the NHL All-Star weekend. I feel like it's the part where the players are actually somewhat trying. That's just been the part I always look most forward to. I think it's really cool. I don't know what was going on last night because
There were no Gators. That was the problem.
Okay, I mean,
thanks, PETA.
thank God for Gritty for giving us our Gator content.
God, yes, Gritty's
Shout out
video was
Gritty.
amazing.
But
King of the Everglades.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the pacing and the fact that they were like the breakaway competition. They were doing one every like 30 minutes, and they were like, okay, time for the breakaway competition, and then they do one. Okay, time for her to shot, and I was like, wait, what? And then they do something else, and then there would be 20 minutes where all that happened in the 20 minutes was like one person did one thing,
Right.
and I couldn't, and that was on TV, and like I don't want to knock ESPN because I'm sure, like, and as a producer myself, I can't even imagine trying to organize something that chaotic. But for the fans in the building, like,
Stick with it for a little longer, right? Stick with one event.
just do each event.
I mean, you've got a kind of a blueprint with Olympic coverage, right? Like, how should we do this when we're trying to cover multiple events at once? We'll stick with one for once. Let us get a feel for it before you flip over to the next one. Yeah, I didn't like that part of it either, but I wanted to ask you specifically what you thought of the event in which Clayton Keller participated, the pitch and puck. Yeah.
Again, good in theory,
Not in execution,
not in
though.
execution.
It's funny you say that because I did not watch the skills competition, but the night before I watched ESPN and it went to SportsCenter at night. Scott Van Pelt had John Butchergross on, and they asked him what his favorite event was, and he said that. But you could tell in the way that he said that he was like, "It went pretty well," and I was like, "Oh, that's not encouraging."
It
And
didn't.
I'm
I
guessing
didn't
it
think it
didn't go
worked
very
at all.
well.
I mean, the dunk one maybe if all the surfboards were working. You know, the dunk.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
liked the idea of the dunk competition, except on the right side of the rink,
Mhm.
they were hitting the surfboards and they weren't going down, so it was completely rigged for the left side.
Yeah.
That was fun in theory. And then the Tendy tandem one, the new one they added, I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea. When the goalies were shooting into the small hole, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then other than that,
I mean, we talked about this before. Like, I like it to be a mix of actual skills. I still like to know who has the hardest shot or the most accurate shot or who the fastest skater is. And we saw all those things. And those are fine, although I still don't necessarily like the way they do, like, fastest skater, things like that.
did we all like hold our breaths collectively when Kale McCarr blew a tire
Right,
on that
right.
turn? I was like,
Right. But
No.
why are we doing turns? Is this like is this speed skating? Is it Eric Heiden? It's a straightaway. That's what matters.
Let's
in
get
the
Apollo
NHL.
Antonono out
Or
there.
even like go up once, stop, and come back and do it that way.
Yeah.
That's the way you should measure the fastest skater, not on a lap. Nobody's doing laps in the NHL. Anyway, I like those competitions still, but to me this year the creative ones that they came up with didn't match Vegas. They weren't nearly as good as
No.
what they did in Vegas, and obviously it was because they were not firing frozen burgers into Gators' mouths.
Obviously.
I don't think the Gators would have come. Did anybody
Gators
ask
now.
the Gators what they
That's
wanted?
what I'm saying. The
Did
Gators
Peta ask the Gators, or just was it like a media relations team that didn't even ask the player if they wanted to do the interview before they shut it down?
There's a bunch of hungry Gators now.
Right.
Thanks,
Gators,
Peta.
Yeah, I would like to hear from the Gators union rep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, after maybe 12 failed call-ins, although now his back is to us, so I'm a little concerned. Oh, wait, he turned around. I think we should bring in Petey for his
look
thoughts.
who's here.
Petey from Mullett. This feels backwards.
I know, and I don't know. I'm not glowing, am I?
No, but
Like Craig does?
there's like darkness.
It looks
gonna
like
say
you
it's
have
Dark
like,
Knight,
you look
Petey.
like a Batman
I don't know how to get
character.
the light. The light's back there. I don't. This whole technology thing, I suck at it. Like I'm supposed to be good at this technology thing.
It's
Suck.
weird. It's like a shadow right here. You look like, I don't know, like the
No.
Dark Joker or something.
Would
I
you
don't
say
know
that
what
you've
to do
been
about the lights here.
born into the darkness, molded by it, perhaps?
Well, I'm just glad that the All-Star game is officially over. That was awful. I don't know why we can't get back to regular hockey. The only time they compete is when they're playing for $1 million and they still don't compete.
Yeah.
You talked about the skills competition, and Leah brought up the goaltending thing. In theory, goaltenders shooting the puck, leave it at that. Can they hit the targets at the other end of the ice? Because the rest of it, the breakaway, the 2-on-0, the 3-on-0, did anybody try? Anybody?
It didn't even make sense. I didn't know who was on whose team. I didn't know what the
None of it
order of
made
events
sense.
was.
Now, I will disagree a little bit with both of you. Big surprise on the golf thing. There's potential there. Like there could be something here that could be cool. Like I didn't hate that. I don't know if it was executed perfectly, but they're onto something.
Here's what you need. You need a puck that will fly greater distances than the one that they had. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Or that it rolls.
Or that
like
it
maybe
rolls.
they
Sure,
shoot a
something
ball.
like it just didn't. It
'Cause the
didn't work
problem
in
was
concept.
because it was a puck, and when it landed, it would bounce.
Yeah.
But it would hit.
Yeah,
And
oh,
then
yeah, and then
bounce
go- yeah,
versus
yeah.
a ball
'Cause of the
like
edge.
Yeah,
that-
but you
that
want it
rolls.
to roll. Like Suzuki's first shot rolls a little bit. You go, okay, that's kind of cool. But you wish they had some kind of roll. I didn't hate it. I think they were on the right path with that one. I don't know about the rest. I don't know. Like I want to see guys doing things to show me how skilled and talented they are, and I don't know if we saw that. And I don't know the shooting targets. McDavid, unreal.
Oh
Like
my
four
gosh.
straight 4 shots, phenomenal. The hokey ones, are people tuning in for that? Is that getting the 18 to 25-year-old male crowd? I don't know. Because I want to see the hockey guys being really good hockey guys. If you're going to do the breakaway, guess what? Make it count. Make guys go 100 miles an hour from the red line in. Hey, let's see who can stop. I'm better than you, Ovechkin. I'm going to stop you. But I didn't feel there was any of that.
Yeah, what I was going to say too, and the breakaway challenge has been, and I've said this, has been my favorite of the skills competition. Well, first of all, the fact that they broke it up and did one every like 30 minutes, I hated. But besides that, the gimmicks in the breakaway challenge are fun, but freaking score. Freaking try to make it in the net. That was the thing that drove me nuts. Freaking, I keep saying freaking, that's driving me nuts. Tkachuk shot his hat into the, like, I don't know. It was just like the whole thing, the Miami Vice thing with Mitch Marner, the whole Happy Gilmore thing, all of those. Like, I don't even mind the gimmicks. I really don't. But actually try to score.
I think the solution is that you need to put some of the best high school players in the country in the All-Star game, because if you put a high school goalie in there, I guarantee you he tries his ass off. And
Hell yeah.
these NHL players are not trying to get embarrassed by a 17-year-old kid.
Maybe make it the e-bugs. Maybe. I just think there's too much. I think the last time I saw them compete is when they did North America versus the world. When it was, yeah, you know what? We're going to compete against you. Yeah, and then you saw some competition. They're just, I don't even mind the 3-on-3 idea. I just want to see guys play a little harder. I want to see some skill. I want to see some guys maybe work up a sweat, and something you guys talked about already. I'm going to throw my 2 cents on. My biggest complaint about NHL jerseys is always ones where you can't read the numbers. I say it all the time, dark on dark doesn't work. What the was this? What was one team turned around and you're the same color as the other team's front? Like, how the hell are you supposed to make a play? But here's my problem with it. Some group of people sat in a meeting somewhere and go, this is a great idea. And I'm telling you, there wasn't one hockey guy in that meeting, because the hockey guy would have said, wait a minute, you can't have white on the front and white on the back. Like, that ain't going to work. Just needed one person that had ever played hockey before say, bad idea.
Or watched
this
it on
isn't gonna
TV.
work.
Why don't they ever test these things? Like, you're telling me they never even just were like, hey, when they turn their back, it looks like the other team.
The Coyotes had those one jerseys, Sean, but when they switched from the Kachina head to the Howling Head Coyote, they went through tests. They had different jerseys made up, and they would skate on the ice. They would have cameras looking at them on the ice. They would have people on the bench going this. That's how you test a jersey. I think these go, okay, they kind of look like South Florida. This is great. There's some really cool colors. Let's wear them to the beach. Cool. This works. And that was it. And this is what they put out. You still need the event, because you still need all those people together. If you want to do Mitch Martyr doing Miami Vice, then guess what? Just go film a vignette like they do on Saturday Night Live when they go away from the stage and they film something. Film something really cool, like you do with the Manning brothers. Cool. But I want to see Alex Ovechkin go down on Shesterkin, and I want to see him try to score, and I want to see Shesterkin try to stop him. Love to see that, and I didn't see that in either the skills or the game.
Two other things, and I've mentioned this before. I don't like the idea of e-bugs, because you got to have goaltenders representing the All-Star game. They deserve their recognition. And the guys that didn't get recognized at all in this All-Star game, once again, NHL defensemen. I think the total was 8 NHL defensemen in the All-Star game. That's crazy. Yeah. It's not fair that forwards get precedent because of the construction of the 3-on-3 lineup. I think you should just have to go with 6 forwards and 3 goaltenders and leave it at that, and 1 goal or 3 defensemen and 2 goaltenders. Leave it at that. Just stop right there. You have to have that has to be the breakdown. Figure it out. I don't care how you do it. Get there somehow. The other thing is have Gators. I mean, find another way to have Gators.
Craig,
here's where I'm going with this now. Here's my new idea now that you can't fire, hard, because it could damage teeth. I get it. The Gators they could lose teeth. And then what do you do? How's a Gator supposed to survive without his teeth? So I get that. So how about you have the players skate on ice like they do between pylons, but instead of the pylons, it's Gators.
You're going to go faster.
And
that would make them skate fast.
And
that would make them skate as fast as they could.
When it's in Arizona, it's rattlesnakes.
There you go, rattlesnakes.
Or a pack of rabid coyotes.
No, they unleash javelinas, and you have to skate away. Those are dangerous.
I get all of these made for TV things, and I want to build some excitement around the best players in the world. I really do, and I hope that people watch, and I hope people had fun. It's hard, and it's not just this sport that is struggling with that. You see, football is going to flag football. That doesn't necessarily work. Baseball tried a little bit when they made home field advantage for the World Series. Even 3-on-3, the first year they did it, and they put up the $1 million prize, I thought you saw guys compete a little harder than you saw today. It's just for fun. From the Coyotes side of it, we don't want Clayton Keller to go out there and get hurt in this game. We just want him to go out, get a suntan, maybe play 18. That would be awesome. So I don't know what the answer is. You want to highlight the best players? I can't read the comments.
No, Sean is losing it, and so it's making me lose it.
Okay, just checking. So I still think you need the event. I'm not sure how you make it where we get to see everybody be their best. I don't know the answer. I want to be excited about it. I want to watch it. I want to be like, hey, let's see Ovechkin and McDavid and Marner and all these guys on the ice together. And it just, I don't know if it did it for me this year.
And for me, the truth is, the way that our world is going is people don't have attention spans anymore. People like they just don't. And so you can't have an event that's spread out with nothing going. Like, you need to make everything quick, concise, and and just saying to
that took forever today, didn't it?
And just interviewing a player that has very not a great personality. Oh, how do you feel to be here? Oh, especially
it's a great honor. I'm excited. It's great to play with the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Like, if you want to market the game and you want to market the personalities of the players, which I feel like that they all get to do whatever fashion they want for the red carpet, and that they get to do whatever they want in the skills competition that shows off, and even in the game itself. Focus on that. And for example, I'll give we've been talking a lot of shit, but like PK Subban on the ESPN broadcast was amazing. Like he's made
he was good.
He's made for something
really
like this. Yeah. So the potential is there. The execution has just been lacking, and this year just kind of felt like, ugh.
You know what would keep people's attention span, Leah? What? Gators. Just saying.
Listen, I don't think Gators in Toronto is a good tie-in.
TP's fed up with my Gator.
No,
references.
First
did you guys know I'm having a St. Patty's Day party, by the way?
Are there Gators going to be there? Are there going to be any Gators
with Gators, yes.
I was just laughing
does Toronto bring this back to hockey roots and make this less of a show?
Maybe.
We'll see. Whatever Toronto does, they will feel like it's as it should be with the NHL All-Star game because Toronto decides. And, you know, the rest of us just
ketchup chip eating competition, A-Root said.
Well, and also, we'll wait to see what the ratings were like. If TV ratings were good, this is it. Like, honestly, to be fair, that's what this is. This is a made-for-TV event. This isn't made for, hey, this is your die-hard hockey fan want to see great hockey. It's not made for that. That's not what this is. So I get the coming up with gimmicks. I've been sitting there thinking about Sean DePaz's Wild Wild West shootout idea for the last few days, and I'm starting to come up. I'm going to flesh it out and send it into Gary Bettman and ESPN and see what we can come up with. But I think there might be something there. It could be cool in the desert. So anyway, I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
So never mind. We'll talk about that at another point when we get the All-Star game.
Yeah. So we have a
$1. How long is the show today?
Depends on how long you stay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Wow. We have $1.99.
Well, I'm trying to get the light, and my knee's killing me, so I got to stand up again.
Can I speak?
We have a $1.99 super chat from Vaguely Sober.
Thank you, Sean. PHNX All-Star Snooze Fest, Colorado Eagles at 7 p.m. Vaguely, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you. Colorado Eagles for you at 7 p.m. For us at 7 p.m. Petey, what do we got going on at the Mullett?
What do we have going on tonight at 7 p.m.? As we already talked about, I am at the Mullett, and I'm getting ready for the Notre Dame Saints and the Desert Vista Thunder battling out for the Arizona State High School Hockey Championship here at 7 o'clock. Tickets are still available. And I know you two are going to be here. It's actually it's really cool because the building is absolutely empty right now. And this is really cool. People are going to be pretty excited about this. I'm excited to see some, little bit of high school craziness in this building. I'm looking forward to it.
Meet some new hockey fans, right? That'll be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know I'm going to have earphones in and listening to specifically the analysis of the game tonight with whoever's doing that. I've heard I should probably listen in on that and critique
tonight, by the way. If you want to hear Petey's Puck Talk for real, I am the color analyst for tonight's tilt with Big Dylan. Dylan just walked out of the room. He could have got some huge airtime on PHNX right now. He's a junior at Cronkite School, another ASU kid. They're everywhere. But yeah, so we're calling the game. It's going to be on YouTube. I'll tweet out the link in a little bit, but there's going to be a pretty big contingent here live as well, including Craig and Leah.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to it. Petey, best of luck, and we'll see you at Mullett in a little bit here.
Yeah, we'll see you guys here in a little bit. Thanks,
all right,
buddy.
Bye, Petey.
Bye.
And Chris asked, what time does it start? It starts at 7.
Doors open at 6.
Yeah, but it starts at 7, so if you're not in Arizona, and you can watch that on the Asha YouTube channel, Petey will be doing the color commentary. So we're really looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. We're going to be there, and we're going to make a quick stop. We got to wrap this up because we got to get on the road, but we're going to make a quick pit stop at Illegal Pete's on the way, because if you come see us at our table at Mullett, not only are we going to be there talking, we got PHNX stickers, but we have a couple giveaways from some of our partners, including Illegal Pete's. So lots of reasons to come say hi to us. We
have a queso drip. We're going to literally inject it right into your veins.
That sounds perfect for me. And speaking of meetups and Illegal Pete's, join all of the PHNX crew at Illegal Pete's Mill location this February 8th on Wednesday. That starts at 7 p.m. Grab some grub, enjoy a Four Peaks beer, and hang out with us. So that's this Wednesday, again, February 8th on Mill. And then the following week, February 15th, we will be back at Illegal Pete's on Mill. We're spending Wednesdays at Illegal Pete's the next 2 weeks. I'm here for it. And we're going to be there before the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Arizona Coyotes. That's February 15th at 4:30 p.m. at Illegal Pete's. Free entry and free food and drink for that event. So stop by. So 2 chances to come hang out with us at Illegal Pete's and enjoy some amazing food and drink. Looking forward to that. And then I'm in the market for some new furniture, Craig. I am.
I was asked to help move someone into their. Oh, should I not say anything?
It's not really a secret. I am moving, but I do need. Maybe if you're not gonna help me move, you can help me pick out some new furniture. I need a kitchen table. I need a dining room table. I need a couple things. So I'm for sure gonna check out more. Save myself a ton of money. The best furniture in the Valley, and it's so easy because I can just go to morefurniture.com, and they also have a location on McDowell. So I love furniture shopping, and I'm really grateful to More, especially with their white glove delivery. Because for me, I don't like, as I already said to you when I asked you to help me move, I don't like carrying stuff. So I'll just have More deliver it.
That's pretty much how it was delivered. Yeah. I don't like moving furniture, so will you do it for me, Craig?
We have a $6.69 super chat from Roaring Fork.
Nice.
And there's no comment with it, but Roaring, I'll keep an eye out for your future comments because I'm sure you will say whatever you wanted to say. But thank you, Roaring Fork. A couple final notes here. Like we already alluded to, the NHL All-Star game will be in Toronto in 2024. The first time it will be in Toronto since the year 2000, which is I still lived in Toronto back then. What do you think of Toronto getting the All-Star?
Well, I mean, where else should it be other than Toronto?
The Mecca?
I mean, yes. No, I think it's good. I think it'll be good to have it in that city. It's a great hockey city. It's a great city, period. Yeah. Yes. It's a phenomenal city. It'll be really cool.
I will, and I will just say.
You can go.
So first of all, the All-Star game, we're watching them on dunk tanks on the beach in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops. This weekend in Toronto is like an insanely cold weekend. My mom is there right now. It was -4 degrees Fahrenheit. And she sent me a video this morning of snow outside her window. So listen, Arizona, it's in the works. The TED needs to get approved first to get there. But I think it'll be a good event in Toronto. And we're just counting down until the Coyotes finally get an NHL All-Star game.
It's coming.
It is coming.
I have an idea. What would you think? Well, I mean, vaguely, or Roaring forecast about getting rid of it altogether. What would you think about putting it in cities that don't have NHL teams
to market the game?
Yeah, and I mean, because like you think about Pro Bowl, they did it in Hawaii for a while, which is different. But I mean, we talked about the atmosphere there.
It's tough because they try to give some revenue to the host city, right? So, and they try to reward cities for either whether it's coming into the NHL, getting an arena built, which we'll get to in a moment, or other things, or if you haven't had it for a while. So they like it as a revenue source for those cities. But I mean, I don't dislike the idea of trying to market in other markets as long as it's not Houston.
I just feel like those fans would be less.
Michael suggestion.
They'd be less disappointed by subpar hockey. They would be more excited the fact that there are just stars there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. And the question that Roaring Fork did ask, which I assume is associated with the super chat, was serious question. Would anyone be overly upset if they just got rid of the All-Star game, not just for hockey, but for every sport? It's an outdated concept that was started before every game was on TV.
Kind of is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It is tough.
And think about the players. Like, think about Clayton Keller's week. Listen, we tied him up with 2 different interviews. I did a story on him, and we had him on our show. He did a lot of those sorts of appearances. He had to fly clear across the country. This wasn't, as he said, the 40-minute flight to Vegas where he's there 2 days, boom, he's back home. Clayton Keller needs rest as much as anybody. He came off a broken leg. He's playing crazy minutes, 3rd most on the team, which is, for context, like usually like your top 5 guys for time on ice are all defensemen for obvious reasons. He's 3rd on the team in time on ice, average time on ice. That's nuts, especially for a guy coming off that sort of surgery. And now he doesn't get any rest in this 1 week where like we're seeing photos of all the other Coyotes in Mexico vacationing. Clayton Keller's, he's doing a lot of work here. And you may look at it and say, oh, that's not, it's tiring, guys. It's tiring to fly. He's going to fly back home tomorrow.
Even having a schedule, like the best part of a day off is having nowhere to be and nothing to do.
Just completely empty your mind, right?
Even if he only has one thing a day, that's still something to do with work. So
now he's got to fly home on Sunday and play on Monday. They play a game on Monday. So
it is crazy.
It's tough. So maybe they should just get rid of it. But if there's revenue to be had in a professional sport, you can be sure that they will not
and don't get rid of it before Arizona gets it, okay? And Gary Bettman did promise an All-Star game to Arizona if the TED is approved.
If the TED is
so
approved.
we're 101 days away from May 16th, but who's counting? We had Randy Keating, Tempe City Council member Randy Keating, on the show yesterday. A lot of great information in that show. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. He kind of broke down the points of the no campaign. He talked about the yes campaign, or lack of, if you will. But just a lot of really great information in there from Randy Keating. So go back and check that one out. It's on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, or wherever you get your podcast, PHNX Coyotes, on Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. It was a really, really great interview.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I think about, and one of the main points that Randy made on this, he educated people on a lot of things, and there's a lot of good information contained in that interview. He was here for 45 minutes. Yeah. And so I don't want to break it down to this one little thing that we highlighted, because we did highlight other things. He had bullet points of what he wants people to know. We'll have more content coming from that show later. But it was really striking to hear him say that his experience, and I think this is true of a lot of folks, the city of Tempe, has been that the no campaign has been better organized to begin with. They are getting their message out, and their messaging is clear. The yes campaign had a sort of a launch event a couple weeks ago that I went to, but I haven't seen the emails. They're like yard signs all over you can see for the no campaign at this point. Well, they're available on the yes campaign's website, but they just hadn't had the same sort of get off the blocks moment that the no campaign had. You can say that there are still, almost it's 3 months left still until the vote, 3+ months, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, they'll get their act together. They're like psychological. There's a lot of psychological research that when you put an idea in a person's head, it's hard to remove that. So by launching the no campaign first, they've got people thinking about the Tempe Arena in a certain ways. The Coyotes are going to have to combat that, and it's going to be hard. You don't just say, no, here's the truth, and then people believe it. Look up all these various psychological studies, the way people absorb information, whether it's the sleeper effect, if you want to Google that, or continued influence effect. Once you put information to in someone's head, especially if there's like emotional attachment to it, like, oh, we're giving money to a billionaire, or there's going to be traffic and crime in my neighborhood. They have a very strong stored memory there, and it's really hard to displace it, even if you're displacing it with truth. I don't get why the Coyotes weren't out in front of this, hammering their message home from day one. I don't care if you're doing it over 5 months. Find new ways to do it. If the Coyotes lose this battle with the voters, it will be on nobody but the Coyotes. We saw the early polling. They had a huge lead. They have widespread support from the business community in Tempe. Again, the voters initially through polling were in favor of it. And we heard what Randy said. If this vote were held today, they'd win it easily. Like 55%, maybe more of the voters would vote in their favor. They have unanimous support from the city council and city staff who vetted this. So you have a huge lead. The only way you screw this up is if you don't manage the campaign well. So we can't come on May 16th at 8 p.m. as he told us, if the Coyotes lose this and they say, well, the Tempe voters spoke. Now that's on you, Coyotes. If you blow this, it's nobody but you to blame. So get out, do the work, because you've heard what Tempe staffers have said. You're not doing the work. They haven't seen it from your end. It's got to happen.
Yep. And as Randy also said, elections can be won or lost in 90 days. It's an eternity in an election cycle. So we will see more to come on that. Of course, you can, stay tuned for PHNX and PHNX Coyotes and Craig for all of that coverage. But we still got some time until then. And it's just going to be interesting. It really will. But
look, they could completely change this narrative right over the next 3 months.
Yeah.
If they have a great campaign that comes out, they could completely change the narrative.
Yeah.
But what are you waiting for?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking ahead to games at the TED, and I'm thinking ahead to tailgates beforehand, and I'm thinking to just the vibes. We got a barbecue going. We got cornhole featuring me. Playing,
and
whoever wants to play me.
We're actually vying to be Leah's partner in cornhole because you've seen her prowess.
And I'm getting a lot of practice because we have some cornhole boards here in the office, okay? We got our Chi-Town Cornhole custom PHNX boards with this PHNX logo that I'm wearing on my shirt. The bags have that PHNX logo on them. There's cup holders. The hole on the board is lit up so you can play at night. Like, these boards are unbelievable. So if you want to get one, either for your backyard, for a party, listen, the Super Bowl is right around the corner. That's a great time to play cornhole if you're having a party. Check out Chi-Town Custom Cornholes. They've been supplying premium cornhole sets across the country and to military bases around the world since 2007. It's veteran owned and operated. So if you're a veteran or active duty, mention this ad for a 10% discount. They ship anywhere. They offer expedited shipping options. You can get a specialized board for whatever you want, your company, your family, anything. So check them out. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards, or check out their website, chitowncornhole.com. We finally made it through the All-Star game. The All-Star break was nice. It felt nice. But after watching that snooze fest hockey, I'm looking forward to watching NHL games again. Like, I really am, actually.
Yeah.
And then I'll be over it after a week. But 32 more games for the Coyotes.
It really is coming down to it now.
It really is coming down. And to get through it, I'm going to use Underdog Fantasy every single day. Every time the Coyotes play, I'm doing a daily draft. I'm doing a pick'em on that game, just to make it more interesting for myself. And if you want to do that, you can do it for basketball, football, hockey. There's esports, everything. Baseball is almost back. So all of that, it's on Underdog. Like I said, daily drafts with your favorite players, or you can do the pick'em game, pick a player, point totals, higher or lowers, and win yourself some money. It's super, super easy to use, and it's easy to start. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with code PHNX, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. All right, we got to get out of here.
We got to get over to Mullett.
We're heading over to Mullett. So if you're watching us live right now, come on down. There's still tickets available. We'll be there with a table. Like I said, we'll have Illegal Pete's giveaways. We got some Mountain Mike stuff. We got some Mavericks and Octane stuff. We got some Phoenix stickers. So come say hi at our table. We'd love to chat with you. We'd love to see you. $15 tickets to watch Desert Vista take on Notre Dame in the championship game. And if you're not in Arizona, if you can't make it to the game, listen to Petey on the broadcast on the Asha YouTube channel. So excited about that one. To everybody who tuned into the show about a very boring All-Star weekend, we appreciate you immensely in your comments, for making us laugh, for putting up with us going off the rails constantly. We appreciate you all. Like this video, whether you're watching live or after the fact. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at S. Peters Hockey, at Sean_DePaz. Follow PHNX Sports across all social platforms, and of course, follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Not anyone or anyone. And we will see you on Monday.